It's time now for our quality time interview, an opportunity to spend a little extra time with our next guest. And that guest is Cole Kinnamon. He's the head coach of the Meade High School boys basketball team. Coach, I mean, year three now for you. Are you just ready to go? Like that experience of the previous 2 years, you feel more comfortable going into that third season?
Absolutely. I was telling my wife this morning when we woke up, it's kind of like being a kid on Christmas morning. You've been waiting for this since the last buzzer last season. Our guys have been working their tails off throughout the summer, and our 12 practices, 13 practices, whatever it is, leading up to this point. They're excited and ready to go. So,
You mentioned the summer, like, so how much work can you do with the boys during the summer? And what are some of the things you're trying to accomplish at that time of the year?
the biggest thing that we try to do is really get them in the weight room. Um, After that point, you get them bigger, stronger, faster, whatever it may be. You got to live in the gym. Summertime is the time to working on skill development stuff, especially. I truly believe in that. If you don't live in the gym, how do you expect to get better?
You look at, things that you want to enforce in the gym. Is it just overall strength and overall core? Is there anything specific, I guess, for basketball that you're really wanting the guys to concentrate on?
As far as the weight room goes, you got to really have a strong core. I teach weights out here, and we do a couple different core workouts every single day. My kids are always like, "Why are we doing this all the time?" I'm like, "Because if you don't have a strong core, guys, you don't have a chance." You look at guys like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I can't even imagine how strong his core is. LeBron, some of those top elite guys, just being able to finish through contact, that's a big part of your core strength.
Do you feel like that's a change? Because I remember there's a day, and like there's different for each sports, but I feel like there was a day where it's just like, hey, put as much weight on that bar as possible. Let's just get strong, strong, strong. Like, do you feel like been a kind of a change? Not to say strength is not important, but focus more on core, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. With all the research nowadays, technology, you can really narrow down what exactly each kid needs to work on. I worked summer KU camp, and we got to listen to the KU men's basketball strength trainer talk, and it's pretty eye-opening on the kind of exercises that they do just for their basketball players alone.
You mentioned going to different camps, Cole. What are some of the things that you're trying to get when you go to those camps, and how many do you have an opportunity to go to?
I usually do the Bill Self basketball camp. I just go and help coach it. With my uncle and my dad um, winning multiple state championships apiece. It's always nice that I have those two to come back to if I need help on something. But seeing them work every day at KU camp, just really makes me realize why they've had so much success in their career.
Well, you bring up your dad and your uncle. Like for you, like when you first started coaching, like that year one at Meade, like how much advice did you want from them, and how much did you get?
Um, First year, I was probably pretty hard-headed. I'm a young guy coming in trying to prove myself. Not really looking for help, which probably wasn't very smart of me. But now, I mean, I'm talking to my dad all the time. Do you think this would work for my team? Do you think this would work? Different things like that.
Like how much of that experience of just going through St. John with your dad at high school, and like just kind of seeing the background of things, him as a coach, how much did that help kind of leading you to becoming a coach?
Pretty much everything that I do now came from him. It's funny. We actually played St. John last year in the sub-state first round, and I'm still close with all those people. Some of them came up and talked to me after the game and like, "You have like the same exact mannerisms as your dad." I'm like, "Well, that's might be good, and some spots probably really bad too." Um, you know, I just the biggest thing that I've gained from him is I hate to lose. I can't stand it. And that's what I'm trying to instill in our guys here is you got to hate to lose more than you love to win.
Well, I remember watching some of your guys' highlights, following St. John, like that buzzer beater that you hit like a half court at Bramlage still goes up there as a top one of the top plays that I've seen. Like, do you ever go back and watch that play?
Oh, it's funny. Some of my students the other day, they came down to my class and they go, "Coach, we were just watching your highlights in math class." I'm like, "What are you doing watching my highlights? Shouldn't you be learning math?"
Right.
And another funny story. The Meade girls team was actually playing right after us after that game. So there's people that have sent me videos from Meade that were at that game.
That's cool. For
This
you,
it's just
like,
kind of crazy how the world works like that.
right? I mean, like, so you start out at Cali. Like, you talk about your experience at Cali, and then stop at Rogers State as well. Like, what did you learn just even playing at that collegiate level?
Well, the first thing I learned at Cali was I have to play defense there. You know, could kind of get away with it in high school. I wish my dad probably would have been a little harder on me. And I'm sure he was hard, but the biggest thing I learned at Cali is you got to play defense. You're not going to see the floor if you're not playing defense. And then at Rogers State, playing for Justin Barkley, that's my guy. A lot of things that I do coaching wise comes from him too. 90% of it comes from my dad, and a lot of it comes from Coach Barkley too. He's had a ton of success at Rogers State. And I still keep in contact with him. I call him, or he'll call me once every week or something, just talking about hoops and stuff, talking about the family. And it's just great to have those connections still.
Time with Cole Kinnamon, the head coach of the Meade boys basketball team. Or so you get out of college, like, and eventually when you're starting to, job hunt, and like, what was that experience like for you? And obviously, eventually landing in Meade, but like, what is that like when you're going out and trying to find that first job?
Biggest thing I was looking for is a school that has had success in not only basketball but all sports. I'm a firm believer in kids playing multiple sports. I'm never going to be somebody that tells somebody to not go play a sport. I think they all have their benefits. Um, Even playing golf or something like that. Get out there, okay, and just be a team. That's the biggest thing to focus on is working as a team here.
Well, you mentioned golf because you're also a golf coach, right, at Meade?
Yep.
So do you like just naturally recruit the guys like after the basketball season? All right, now you need to go you play some golf.
It's kind of funny. Some of them had never played before. They're like, "Coach, should I play golf this year?" I'm like, "Yeah, do it." I mean, it's not gonna be easy. They're like, "Oh, yes, it is." They get out there and they whiff their first 5 swings. I'm like, "I told you guys." In
Right?
my opinion, I think golf is a top three sport. Hardest to get good at.
Like, you look at the start of the season, that pre-Christmas schedule. Like, what are you trying to get out of this time of the year, just as far as becoming better at this time of the year, especially when you're going to have a 2-3 week break between games.
Sure. I mean, we got dropped from a tournament here a couple years ago. We used to go to the Cimarron tournament, but they did away with it. And when we were looking for tournaments to go to early in the year, I wanted something that I know is going to make us better. So we've got Sterling scheduled, third game of the year. They're going to be tough. You got Kingman, that's a solid 3A. And then, you could potentially face Great Bend, who's going to be as top of 5A this year. And last year, we also had the pleasure of playing Haven, who
Yeah.
was one of the best teams in 3A. And, you get beaten those games, but it makes you better. That's what we're after.
Putting a schedule together, I mean, is it becoming easier? I know it's your third season, but like, do you feel like putting that schedule together? I mean, you got your league opponents that helps out, but what's it like just trying to map everything together?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Our league schedules all of our leagues game for us, and all we have to do is pretty much schedule our out of league games. And we added two more this year. We weren't able to get a third, but we added Ulysses and Syracuse, who are both going to be pretty good teams. And we're excited for those ones.
Well, give me the outlook of Meade as far as some of the experience you have coming back and what you're excited about.
I really like the group that we have. They're real coachable. They work their tails off, like I mentioned earlier, and they genuinely enjoy being around each other. And our motto this year is called "Culture Wins." And I'm a firm believer. If you have a strong culture, you have the right recipe for success. If you have a bad culture, where guys don't like each other, like hanging out with each other outside of school, outside of sports, you might struggle. Coming back, we've got lots of returners that had big time minutes for us. Starting with Samuel Lynn, he averaged just under 20 for us last year. He was our go-to scorer, obviously, and he also averaged just under 3.5 assists a game. Then we had Tyson Knott. He was injured first half of the season last year, got hurt in football. Came back, really played some big minutes for us, averaged around 6 a game, and shot close to 50% from three at a high
Wow.
clip. When you're getting up to that 50% range, that's not just good, that's elite. So I'm expecting a big year from those two, especially. And then Saul Mendoza, he's a junior. He averaged just under 6 for us. Okay, he's one of our toughest guys, and just does all the dirty work. Stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but something that coaches would recognize and fully appreciate. Then we got Serson Conley. He was steady and reliable last year. Not a big time scorer from us, but that's okay. That's not what we need from him. He understands his role. He's going to get the best player on defense every game. He's going to be guarding guy. He's about 5'9", 5'8" maybe, but he's going to be guarding guys that are 5, 6 inches taller than he is. He's just a tough kid, and makes pretty good decisions offensively too. Uh, Tate Jones, sorry, you good?
No, you're good. Yeah, you're fine. Go
All
ahead.
right.
I'm
Tate
sorry.
Jones, come back to us as a sophomore, played some big minutes. He averaged about 6 a game as well. He's grown a lot this year, and you could really see it in football too. He was our starting quarterback this year. Just his confidence and his physicality has completely changed from last year, and his maturity has really taken a leap too. And we got Titus Ritter. He really grew last year, another sophomore. He brought energy off the bench for us, and he's really improving every week. And then Jermaine Conley, who is Surson's brother. Talk about somebody who's really grown. Last year, he was maybe 5'9", 5'10". He shot up to about 6'1" now, probably with a 6'4", 6 span, real long, athletic, lanky kid. And I've challenged him to be our best defender and leading rebounder this year. So
Good outlook here. Hey, Cole, appreciate the time and best of luck the rest of the season.
thanks, Cole. I appreciate it.
That's Cole Kinnamon, the head coach of the Meade boys basketball team, and that'll do it for our quality time interview.